Ross, we're now 7 or 8 years on from the financial crisis, and yet here is a bank, RBS, which for the first half of this year has lost over £150 million and is still worth less than the price the taxpayer paid for it all those years ago. Just help us understand, how can that be? People just will struggle to understand how that can be the case.
Well, it's a big part of why we're just creating a simpler, stronger, fairer bank, so that we just don't go back to the grandeur of wanting to be the biggest bank in the world. Different things drive us today. We're driven very much off the back end of what our customers need. And I think at that point we create a sustainable bank that people in the UK will be proud of. But we are having to deal with a lot of issues from the past, and my strategy has been to deal with those things as quickly as possible and to restructure this bank so that it comes back to being in the UK and the Republic of Ireland as our core parts of the bank.
Now, obviously the results continue to be scarred by these events from the past. You've put an extra 450 million in the kitty today to try and settle some of these issues. The truth is, you don't know how much you're going to pay the US authorities. No one knows, and therefore it doesn't make sense to sell something when you have no idea what it's worth.
Well, first off, the shares are the government's for them to sell. My job is to create a really good bank and put it in a shape that the government can sell it. And I was delighted.
But at the moment, have got no idea. Whilst that big imponderable is out there, no one knows what this bank is worth. So it makes no sense whatsoever to say we're going to start selling it.
Well, one of the interesting things is that we put out a lot of disclosure so that people have the information that we have about those issues. And the larger investors do need to make their own assessment on whether they want to put their money in or not. And you have got investors in this bank today who see the long-term value of this bank improving. That's why they're in the stock. And that's what the government's got to work through, is who is going to buy that stock and at what price. People have to look across at what other settlements have happened and make their own assessment. But my job is to create a really good bank. And if you have a look at today's results, for this quarter alone, a 1.8 billion operating profit, which was 11% up on the last quarter, that's the business that people are buying into. They see through the noise and they actually get down to what is the core profitability of this bank, and it's a great business. We've got some of the leading franchises in retail banking, SME, that's small business, mid-size and large corporate, and private banking. So underlying here is a fantastic bank.
It used to be the biggest bank in the world. What's it going to look like in 5 years' time?
I think it was the biggest bank in the world. I mean, we had a balance sheet of £2.4 trillion. It's now just dipped in under 1 trillion. Still a very, very big bank. But this is a bank that's grounded on customers and their needs. It's a bank grounded around the UK and the Republic of Ireland, so it's very, very focused. And focused organisations do much better for customers, for their staff, and also for their shareholders at the end of the day.